I'm washed, I'm saved, I'm redeemed, and heaven is my home. Now what? How am I to live as a Christian? Well, the Bible does speak about this. The Bible gives us direction and guidance for our lives. In fact, a good example of this would be the Ten Commandments. And the Ten Commandments don't only serve as a way to hold up a mirror and convict us based on God's law, but it also gives us guidance as to how to live and how to please God. Honoring government, taking care of our bodies, honoring his gift of marriage, protecting people's possessions, honoring people's reputations and upholding those reputations. These are just some ways that the Ten Commandments guide us in living a Christian life. But what about those areas of my life where God neither commands nor forbids something? But what about if I'm faced with a decision where both options could be God-pleasing options? But what about those times when I'm trying to plan things in my life and there's a lot of different paths that I could take that would be God-pleasing, but I just don't know which path to plan out? Then what do I choose, or how do I work through those different things? Well, the Bible is not going to give you some revelation as to what direction in life that you can choose. It's not going to write new words. We have a closed canon here today, but the Bible does speak about the ways that a Christian might go about doing this. And number one would be to pray. God has invited us and privileged us with the opportunity to come before him in prayer. And he has said that anything that we bring to him, if we come in faith, that he listens and he takes our prayers into account. And so whether we're praying for clarity in a decision or clarity in a plan moving forward, or that we're praying that we would just trust God through this process, prayer is a great place to start. Number two, as we're working out decisions or making plans, God wants us to use our God-given intellect to plan or to decide. God has gifted us with the ability to reason, with intellect, with the use of wisdom, and that we would use that wisdom to make those plans and decide to the glory of God. That would be number two, to be good stewards of the life that he has given us. And number three would be to trust God's will through all of that. God has not revealed his entire will to us. He has revealed what we need to know to be saved in his word, but he has not laid out every step of your life for you in his word here. And so we trust that God will establish our steps and that God will guide and control our lives. And so we have a few takeaways that we can bring from this. Number one, that we will make the best plans or decisions that we can, being faithful stewards of him. That we will go back to his word and we'll make sure that where things would violate his word, we'd stay away from those things. But when there's two good options in front of us, that we would come faithfully to make a decision that would be faithful to him and to his word, where we get to use our gifts and our talents to the best of our ability. Number two, we would hold our plans loosely, meaning that we can make our plans, we can make our decisions, but we know that things can change. We know that God might have a different direction for our lives and for our paths. And so we hold our plans loosely, knowing that. And number three, that we would trust God all the way through. That the God who washed me, saved me, and redeemed me has always promised to be with me. Keep those three things in mind as you're making your plans for this new year, or as you're faced with a decision coming up, and always go to the Lord in prayer, asking for his will to be done.